My name is Dr. Mary Washington. I am a board-certified nephrologist, but basically, what I like to do is rap. So at the end of this presentation, we're going to do that because we've been here all day, and I like music. So the question is, do you have 1, 2, 3? Just how many kidneys do you have? Hey, it varies. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about their function, what damages them. We're going to talk about how you can regain that kidney function or the alternatives. And of course, in and song. Now, basically, can you see all of that? Basically, the kidneys are a collection of arteries. Arteries and tubules, people. One of these units, the artery is called a glomeruli because it's balled up and it looks like a little glomeruli, a little ball. And the other part of this unit is called a tubule. So one of this, artery and tubule together is called a nephron. My profession, nephrologist. This is a Greek word meaning nephron. Each kidney has about 1 million of these, okay? Now I want you guys to say embryology. Every time your heart beats, about 20% of that blood goes into your kidneys, okay? Hopefully you have 2 of them. Some of you said you had 2. Right and left, hopefully 2 ureters. How many bladders? How many ureters or urethras? That's because in medical school, in, what's that word? Embryology, we learned that there's various ways and various, I should say, variations of the kidneys. You can have 1 kidney, 2 kidney, you can even have an extra portion of a kidney. You think you may have 2 ureters, 1 for the right side, 1 for the left side. You may have an extra ureter that blends it together and go into the right side of the ureter or the right side of the bladder. There's so many variations in this, and this is what we learn in embryology. Now, you can live with 1 kidney. If transplanted, you can have 3 or 4, as long as it works. Only 1 will work. Now, the transplanted kidney, I'm gonna step away from the mic a little bit. 1 transplanted kidney can be over here, called the right anterior fossa. The other one can be over here, left anterior fossa. I have some patients that have been transplanted twice already. They actually have 4 kidneys. There are 2 native kidneys and the transplanted kidney, but only that 1 kidney works. Now, your kidney is usually located in your retroperitoneum, 10 centimeters long, it's about 5 centimeters wide. So in other words, it's 2.5 centimeters deep. It's in your peritoneum cavity. This cavity here, this cavity that contains your intestine, contains your liver, your gallbladder, this is called the peritoneum, and your kidneys are located behind there. T11 to about L3, okay? So, I have a model up here. When you get through later on, we can come by and I explain it to you. This little portion up here, the adrenal gland. That also is important in regulating a lot of hormones as well. Okay, why we have here? Los riñones. ¿Por qué a slide in español? Because the majority of the patients, unfortunately on dialysis, are of the African American community and the Mexican community. But that's okay, bear with me. You're gonna figure this out. Producen agua irregular minerales como sodio, fósforo, potasio. This is what the kidney does. It regulates your minerals, your sodium, your phosphorus, your potassium, calcium, magnesium, amino acids, which is broken down to nitrogen, hydrogen. Okay? Second part, eliminar tóxicos, puedes limpiar tu sangre. It can eliminate toxins, okay? What do we mean by waste products? Like urea, we all heard of urea, huh? All that protein you eat from animal meat makes urea. We all know what urea is, huh? Urine. People that eat meat, what are they craving? Anyway, also from skeletal, she got it. I said that kind of fast, huh? Anyway, skeletal muscles. Bodybuilders in here, you got a creatine, make creatinine. That's another waste product. What's some more waste products we have? We have bilirubin for red blood cells. We have hormones, drugs, pesticides, food additives. These are some of the things that we're eliminating, okay? And just because you make urine, oh, how'd I go back? Just because you make urine doesn't mean that your blood is clean. That's right. I have some patients that still make urine and they still need dialysis. Number 3, the kidney participar in the formation of vitamin D. That's right. Kidney, proximal tubule makes vitamin D. Did you guys know that? See, the kidney does more than just make water and urine. It's an endocrine system too. So it regulates, specifically it makes an enzyme that converts vitamin D to an active form. From there, you're able to absorb the calcium and the phosphorus from your diet. So yes, that's what it does. It makes another chemical called erythropoietin. Number 4, se produce an erythropoietin, un químico que existe en la formación de los glóbulos rojos, makes red blood cells. You heard of people saying they're anemic, being tired, can't get oxygen to all their organs and exhausted? Because you didn't know that your kidney makes the erythropoietin that goes to the bone marrow so that you can make these red blood cells. Interesting, huh? All right. And the last thing down here, number 5, controls the blood pressure. Well, I think most people know that. It makes a chemical called renin. And this renin is converted to angiotensin 2 and constricts the arteries. So yes, look at that. You didn't know. The kidney does all of those things. Simple, does many more, but those basic 5 principles. And the bottom, yes, I'm talking about both kidneys. A lot of times when my patients come into my office, they want to know, and I show them the blood test, explain to them what the BUN and creatinine is. They want to know, Doc, are you talking about both my kidneys? Yes, both of your kidneys. So, what damages the kidneys? You do. Say, what? All right. Medications like ibuprofen, Motrin, Advil. I have a patient right now, unfortunately, in his 40s, a little overweight. Well, I'll take that back, a lot overweight. He's been taking Motrin, Advil, 600 milligrams, 3 or 4, 3 times a day for his hip pain. His kidneys are now not working. These medications constrict the arteries. Did I not tell you that the kidneys are full of arteries and tubules? Say arteries for me. Arteries. All right. This disease is the disease of the arteries. So ibuprofen, Motrin, constrict the arteries going to the kidney and no blood flow. Look at this. Not drinking enough water. We all heard that. So if not drinking enough water can actually cause kidney failure, then why do a lot of people drink soda? And one of the quickest things and the easiest things that we do when we're in the hospital, somebody comes into the hospital with acute renal failure, or I get a consult from Dr. Montgomery because of congestive heart failure, acute renal failure, or I get a consult from a family practice doctor because somebody has acute renal insufficiency. You know the first thing I order? Water. IV fluids. It increases renal blood flow because I told you the kidneys are a collection of tubules and what? Arteries. This is a disease of the arteries. And crack, heroin, meth, Sudafed, again, constricting the arteries. High cholesterol blocks up the plaques, blocks up the flow in those arteries. And then again, high blood pressure. So, we're saying arteries, right? Arteries. But then last but not least, diabetes. The number 1 cause of kidney failure in the world, the number 1 cause of diabetes in the adult population is their diet. What have we been talking about all day? The number 1 cause of diabetes in the United States is obesity. What have you heard all day? Why do all those words begin with D-I? Diabetes, dialysis, diet, or die? So, how do we regain kidney function? Or what are the alternatives? You guys remember those 2 words I had y'all say out loud? Arteries, and what else? Embryology. This is a dialysis filter. The arteries, as we said earlier, are a filter of the blood, right? I told you about the other things it makes, the protein, the erythropoietin, the vitamin D, but it filters and balances those minerals, those sodium, the potassium, the phosphorus, the calcium. This is what we connect you to. Excuse me for a little bit. Put this catheter either in your neck or in your groin. From here, there are plastic extensions that hook you up. And then we put these needles in you, here or here. So either a Quinton catheter to hook you up to this filter or a needle with extensions to hook you up to this filter. Everything is color coordinated. Artery, red, vein, blue, like the anatomy. So sad. Peritoneal dialysis. Told you about this cavity? Get a solution of sugar water, believe it or not. It goes into, from your peritoneum into your blood system, and in exchange the blood system, the toxins, the minerals that we talked about goes into this bag. This process takes about 2.5 hours. Your peritoneal membrane now is the filter, not this as a filter. Peritoneal membrane. You're hooked up, it's hooked up to some extension here. I'm sorry, it was all tangled up. You have a tube from your stomach that comes out, and then it goes into, the waste products goes into the toilet. Peritoneal dialysis. Real stuff I'm talking about. Dialysis is recommended when your GFR, glomerular, like I told you about that glomeruli, F, I told you it's a filter, glomerular filtration rate. Stage 5, 15% or less is when we recommend people to start dialysis. Stage 1, greater than 90%. A lot of us may not see that because we're not kids no more. You know, as we get older, our arteries do get blocked up a little bit with plaques, unless we eat what the chef just told us to. And I'm still hungry, so save me some food. I couldn't eat. I didn't want my teeth to look bad. Okay, stage 2, 60 to 89%. Stage 3, 30 to 59%. The majority of the people who I see, maybe 10% of my consults are in stage 3, 30 to 59%. Those are usually the pregnant women. Ah, pregnant women? Oh, yes, the ones who just delivered. You can have kidney failure while you're pregnant. Start losing protein during pregnancy. That's a whole nother topic, but I got you curious, huh? Now, the other 20 or 30% of my patients are in stage 4, unfortunately, at the 16 to 29%. And the majority, the rest, maybe I did the math wrong, 10% of the stage 3, maybe 20% stage 4, and the rest of them, all the other 70%, they're ready to start dialysis already. In denial, but ready to start dialysis. Now, the people with comorbid illnesses like AS, aortic stenosis, ICM, ischemic cardiomyopathy, that means you had a heart attack, or just cardiomyopathy for various stages, and Dr. Montgomery will go into that for you if you've not heard him before. A lot of those people start when it's maybe 20% or 24%, just because they cannot get rid of the fluid. They got edema. They're swollen. They can't breathe. And the sad part is the symptoms can be very subtle, changes that the patients themselves don't even know. It's the family members that notice the changes, notice that they're sleeping longer, they don't eat as much as they used to, losing weight. And then the family member have to beg the person to come in to go see a doctor, all right? Swelling your legs, you think that'll be enough, but for some men, they gotta have swollen their scrotum before they come in. And ironically, you know, they want all the swollen to get away from their scrotum and forget the swollen in their legs and in their lungs. They can't breathe. But the symptoms can be subtle from nothing all the way to a comatose state. Various tests I thought I'd mention for you: urine analysis, UA, ultrasound of the kidney, spot protein creatinine ratio, again, looking at the protein, because when you're starting to have some problems with your kidneys, one of the first changes that you may have may be just that your blood pressure is elevated. Don't even know. People walk into our office all the time, some with 190s, don't even aware that they had kidney failure or hypertension, no symptoms. Remember that commercial I think it was about 15, 20 years ago about the silent killer? Okay. Or they start having swelling in their legs because they're losing protein. So, is there still a chance to save your kidneys? My philosophy is, as long as you're making urine, there's a chance. I told you, each kidney has over 1 million of those nephrons. We don't wait as physicians till that value get down to 0. You'll be dead. So yes, there's a chance, as long as you're making urine. And you want to save your life? Or how can you save your kidneys to save your life? You remember those words I told you about arteries and embryology. Let me tell you something. It's a beautiful thing that we are. When we're in utero, we go through almost every life form stage there is. Smaller than that, little tadpoles, microscopic, reptilian, amphibian. I don't think it's until like maybe the 5th month that we even look like mammals. Not even until maybe the 6th or 7th month that we even look like humans. You burned, and I bring this up for this reason. We go through all those forms, all those genes are in us. You guys burned your tongue on hot tea or coffee one time? Waited about what, 2 or 3 days, and it was better? Because those cells have the ability to regenerate. They can grow new. anywhere from your mouth to your anus. And the beauty about the kidneys is that those cells can regenerate too. You still have reptilian DNA in you. Don't start eating any bugs. We can begin the music. Number 1, because this is all about diet, isn't it? Crack, cocaine, powder or rocks. That caffeine in your coffee palpates that heart. Candies, cakes, pies, you eat these too? Yeah, you do. Is it granulated white sugar? Oh, fine powder too? It's all white powder. All three are the same. Processed and refined in chemistry labs is how they got their names. Crack hardens the arteries. Caffeine elevates blood pressure. Sugar so high you can't even measure. They make you feel good, they make you feel high. Hide if you want to, cause blood tests don't lie. Old school, new school, true school. That's me. You be hooked up to more than just a dialysis machine. Crack, cocaine, sugar, all white powder. We have no problems when we talk about crack, but what about that sugar? It's a problem, isn't it? That's called no difference. The sad truth is that the Latino community also makes a large percentage of patients on dialysis. Remember I told you, right? If you don't make the changes now, and you continue to eat and drink whatever your family members are doing, turn it up so I can hear. We'll be following you. Comida con tanta sal. No sabes por qué te sientes mal. Cuando te conectan a la máquina, tantos calambres que lastima. Demasiado agua y respiro te falta. No aire, respire profundo. No aire, estás ahogando. Tienes sed. Tanto que beber. La cantidad que ignoras. El aire te falta. Quieres estar bien sano. No aire, respire profundo. No aire, estás ahogando. En diálisis.
Mide tu peso.
2.2.
Es un kilo.
Traes más de
8 libras.
la presión arterial. Rápido, rápido, el corazón bombea.
Siento pesado el
Palpita, palpita. Y no sabes por qué te sientes mal. Tantas comidas fritas, líquido y sal. Sodio, fósforo.
melón de agua.
Piernas hinchadas.
Y eso son patas,
Tanto potasio.
aguacate,
Cocinas con manteca.
en mis tamales,
¿Quieres algo dulce?
Champurrado.
Tiras en la basura.
Quiere alimento.
Hay mucho grasa.
En menudo.
Y fritas tus tortillas. A mí no me pones atención. Comes más de un
Chicharrón.
tortillas de harina,
Con pozole.
puerco y cabeza,
quiero mole,
caldo, soda, café y té. Harto con tu comida, harto yo sé. No aire, estás ahogando. No aire y oxígeno estás buscando. Controla lo que pones en tu boca. Con este ritmo,
Puedo respirar.
controla. But I must respect my elders. So I've explained the nice way. You guys just look at me and say, baby, we all gonna die one day. Well, life is a choice, and yes, you all will die. But isn't the quality of how you're living a reflection of you or a lie?
Yeah, tough words.
Thank you.
But what can I say to get through to you? Just what can I say to get through to you?